Themes and layouts are the core of how you brand and maintain visual consistency on a Yii2CMS website. So let's go to layouts. As you can see here, I have 4 layouts. A homepage layout. This special layout is handled for hard-coded pages that are not part of the back-end system, things like the login page, the contact page, and so on, which are actually part of the initial original advanced Yii framework and I just kept that stuff and didn't change it. And then we have the single column page list layout, which is just this is the layout you might want to use for page lists. And here it says, layout for keyword-based page list, and then your basic layout. And this one has just got a main menu, header, page content, and footer. You can have as many pages or as many layouts as you need, and you can subdivide them up, do all kinds of crazy things with them. Insert shared blocks. For instance, you might want to, well, let me show you here. In this instance, what I've done is I have the basic block, and you'll see it just says main menu, header, content, and footer. But this content, the main menu, the header, and the footer, are actually custom blocks. These are individual shared blocks that exist under the block system. And so, for instance, the site footer just has the footer stuff, this business here, in it, and the site main menu has this menu in it, and the small header has this smaller thin strip header in it, and it's just a piece of HTML. This is just a piece of HTML. The footer is actually a piece of HTML, and the menu is a special type of block called a menu that can be shared among any number of pages or any number of layouts. A theme is simply a Bootstrap CSS set. Bootstrap uses a set of standard visual element CSS classes that cover just about everything you can do on a website, from rules about how rows and columns look and behave, to the internal typography, background colors, border treatments, background images, and so on that a site consists of. A layout is the wrapper for content, and again, if we go in here, you can see this special token, content 1, tells the layout where to put the page content. And again, these tokens are arbitrary. They can be anything, but I keep them, English, they look like what they are, and it's better to do that as just a best use case practice. So anyway, you can also have a sub-theme on a layout. So a layout, you notice here, it says use global. Well, under the configuration system, there is a place to define the ID of the global theme, right? Or actually, it's the path to the theme folder. And then here, of course, you could there's a global theme for the entire site that's set up under config. But then you can have a sub theme. So like if you have some special theme that does specific things to typography or puts a specific border treatment on things that are just shared by this layout, you can do that. You can get very fine grain in your design breakdowns with this system. And it's easy to conceptualize. Unlike Drupal or WordPress, where things are they're hard-coded, and you have to understand all of the background architecture of the paths and where the files are, and editing files, and having either SSL or SSH access to your site or FTP access. You don't have to do that here. It can all be handled right here in the back-end interface without any programming. Anyway, layouts, however, have more powerful features, like the ability to share blocks, which we discussed here. You can share these blocks among any number of layouts. And, they can automatically cover a wide range of pages that share the layout. For example, you might need to feature some product on a number of pages or category of pages, or share ads or lead generation funnels across a whole set of pages. So layouts are very powerful. I mean, it's more than just a framework. They're a framework for how your web application, your front-end web application, operates. Layouts can also contain custom CSS. And here I could either put a pointer to a CSS file or just pour in my CSS. If I need some specific CSS just for this layout, I have a way to get to that here. I've thought that forward, because that happens. I've built hundreds of websites, literally hundreds, and used not a score, but many different CMS systems, including all the main ones: Drupal, WordPress, Joomla, Concrete 5, all that. You can't do that in these systems, in those systems. They don't have any place in the back end to just be able to easily add, a header 1 treatment. You have to get down into the file system, figure out where that stuff is, update caches, do all kinds of crazy things. So anyway, and the same thing exists about custom JavaScript. You can actually, if you need to insert Google tracking code that applies to just a certain set of pages, you can do that here. Anyway, and once the layout is completed, it also, like, if you're going to have variations on that layout, and you don't want to have to recreate a whole layout, you can simply just copy the layout. So, that covers layouts. We're going to move on to pages.